Jesus gave me a list of 7 items to protect our families. Item number 7 is the only thing that can stop evil from entering your house, yet most of us throw it away every single day. My name is Sarah. For 35 years, I worked as an emergency room nurse. I truly thought I had seen the boundary between life and death, but when my own heart stopped beating, I realized how wrong I was. Jesus did not take me to walk on streets of gold. He took me to a high place and showed me a storm of darkness coming to every roof in America in 2026. I saw mothers rushing to store rice and water, but they were ignoring a deadly hole right at their front door. The Lord told me that if you do not seal this gap, every locked door is meaningless. It was Thanksgiving night. The house felt so big and empty. My husband is gone and the kids called to say they were too busy to come home this year. I looked at the turkey sitting on the table stone cold. Then I felt a sharp pain. It was not like the pain described in my nursing textbooks. It felt like a giant hand squeezing my heart. I collapsed onto the cold kitchen floor. In that moment, I was not afraid of dying. I was afraid of the loneliness. I thought of my youngest daughter away at college. Who would protect her if I was gone? Suddenly, I felt weightless. I was floating up near the ceiling. I looked down and saw my own body lying there, looking so old and small. Then the lights went out. Darkness swallowed everything. I felt a pull like a huge vacuum sucking me into a deep tunnel. The wind roared in my ears. I was moving so fast I could not even scream. At the end of that tunnel was a warm, glowing light. Jesus was standing there. He was not dressed in armor like a mighty general, but in a simple white robe. But his eyes held an ocean of sadness. He reached out and took my hand, and I felt the rough scar where the nail had been. He looked at me and said, "Sarah, you have healed people your whole life, but you have not prepared medicine for your own family." He pointed down to the earth. I saw a thick black mist creeping into the cities and homes. It was not bombs or fire. It was the cold emptiness of souls rejecting God. He told me there are coming 3 days when the sunlight will be hidden so that mankind will finally realize how much they need the true light. He said, "You must go back. You must tell the mothers how to prepare this soul first aid kit. Do not write it with a pen, write it with your heart." The first item Jesus handed me was not a flashlight or a battery. It was a simple candle made of pure beeswax. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, "Sarah, why not just use a flashlight?" That is what I thought too. But the Lord showed me that when this spiritual darkness falls, artificial light like LEDs or phone screens will flicker and fade. They are man-made and cold. Jesus explained to me that beeswax comes from the hard, pure labor of the bee, untouched by chemicals. He said, "In those days I will only be present where there is purity." Ladies, please listen to me. Do not go to the supermarket and buy those candles that smell like heavy perfume and chemicals. Find the simple, rustic beeswax candles. When you light them, remember that Jesus is the light of the world. No amount of darkness can ever overcome him. The second thing he showed me was heavy curtains and black duct tape. He told me to cover the windows and seal every crack. Now, this is not about hiding in fear. It is about setting your home apart from the world. The Lord said to me, "Sarah, the eyes are the window to the soul. If you look out into that darkness for too long, fear will enter your heart. Closing those drapes is an act of faith. You are declaring that inside these walls, we are not looking at the storm. We are looking only at Jesus. But simply covering your eyes is not enough. Jesus warned me that the real danger does not come from what we see, but from what we hear. And what he let me hear next made my knees shake. He showed me a mother holding her baby tight inside her living room. Outside, the wind was screaming like a wild animal. Suddenly, there was a pounding on the front door. "Knock, knock, knock." Then a voice called out from the other side, It sounded exactly like her husband who was away at work. It said, "Honey, open the door. I'm so cold. I finally made it home." The poor wife gasped with joy. She started to run toward the latch to let him in, but Jesus grabbed my shoulder tight and made me look right through that wooden door. Ladies, my heart stopped. It was not her husband standing on the porch. It was a dark shadow, a demon mimicking his voice perfectly to trick her into breaking her seal of protection. Jesus looked at me with such seriousness and said, "Sarah, in those days the enemy will use the voices of the ones you love most to tempt you. Do not trust your ears. You must trust only the peace in your spirit." This brings us to the third item, and this one is vital. It is anointing oil. It can just be olive oil that you have prayed over. Jesus reminded me of the Passover in Egypt. Remember how the Israelites painted the blood of the lamb on their doorposts so death would pass them by? Today, we use oil as a symbol of the Holy Spirit. The Lord told me to walk around the house, put a little oil on the door frames, and pray, "This house belongs to Jesus." He said to anoint the foreheads of our children too. Now, listen to me. This is not magic. It is a declaration of ownership. When evil sees that mark, it knows that house has a master, and that master is the one who has already won the victory. Item number 4 is something many of you might have sitting on a shelf gathering dust. It is a paper Bible. The older and more worn out, the better. Jesus showed me that when this storm hits, the cell phone towers will go dead. That expensive smartphone in your pocket, it becomes just a cold, useless brick. All those Bible apps you rely on will disappear or fail. I saw a young man in my vision, panicked, frantically swiping at a black screen. He was lost. But in the corner of the room, there was his grandmother's old Bible, and it was glowing with a soft, gentle light. My dear friends, please listen to me. Do not put your faith in the cloud. Put your faith in the word printed in black ink on white paper. Pick up that book today. It is the only thing the enemy cannot hack. The 5th item is not something you buy. It is something you do. It is silence. I know this sounds impossible. When the storm is raging outside, when the sirens are wailing and people are screaming, our human instinct is to turn on the TV or the radio to hear the news. We want to know what is happening. But Jesus told me, "Do not add noise to the chaos. I only speak in a still, small whisper." So, the 5th tool is the off button. Turn off the screens. Turn off the news. Gather your children close to you. Sit in the quiet and read Psalm 91 aloud. The peace of God will cover your home like a warm, heavy blanket in the dead of winter. If you believe that the Lord is the safest shelter for your family, please write in the comments right now, "God is my hiding place." Item number 6 is your food supply. But please understand, this is for sharing, not for hiding. The Lord showed me 2 very different homes. In the first one, I saw a man who had locked his pantry tight. He sat there hugging a gun, guarding his food because he was so afraid his neighbors would ask for some. But when he opened a sack of rice, it had all turned to dust and mold. His selfishness had rotted the very thing he tried to save. Then, I saw a poor mother who had only 1 loaf of bread left. When the little boy next door cried out from hunger, she broke her loaf in half and gave it to him. And right then, the piece in her hand became whole again. The miracle of multiplication only happens when we have compassion. Do not store up out of fear. Store up so you have something to give away. Then the vision changed, and what I saw next shook me to my very core. I saw the home of a wonderful, respected pastor. He was a man with kind eyes and gray hair, the kind of man everyone trusted. And let me tell you, he was prepared. He had followed the list perfectly. On his table, the pure beeswax candles were glowing warmly. His windows were sealed tight with heavy curtains and tape. He had anointed every doorframe with oil. He was sitting there in his favorite armchair, reading his Bible, looking so peaceful. I thought, surely this man is safe. But then the terror started. The darkness did not try to break in through the window. It did not smash the door. Instead, it crawled out from inside his own chest. I watched in horror as a thick, black smoke began to rise up from his heart, choking him from the inside out. He gasped for air, clutching his chest, but the shadow was part of him. I screamed out, "Lord, no! Why is this happening? He did everything right. He checked every single box on the list." I was terrified because if this man wasn't safe, who could be? Jesus turned to me, and this brings us to item number 7. This is the most critical supply of all, yet it is the one we forget the most. It is total forgiveness. The Lord pointed a finger at that pastor's heart, and suddenly I could see inside. Right there, in the center of his chest, was a black lump. It looked like a hard, cold stone. It looked like cancer. Jesus said to me, "Sarah, this man has refused to speak to his own brother for 10 years. He preaches love on Sunday, but he holds a grudge on Monday. That anger is the back door he forgot to lock." Please, friends, listen to me closely. This is the spiritual law. You can bolt your front door with all the holy oil and beeswax candles in the world. But if you are nursing a grudge, if you are holding on to bitterness against a family member, an ex-husband, or a neighbor, you are leaving the back door wide open. You are giving the enemy a key and a legal right to walk right into your home. You cannot buy this 7th item at the grocery store. You cannot order it online. It has to be dug out of your soul with tears and humility. You must check your heart for any tumors of unforgiveness before the storm comes. Then, the moment of truth came for me. Jesus turned his face toward me. His eyes were filled with so much love, but they were also piercing, like fire. He asked me, "What about you, Sarah? Are you still holding on to that hatred for the drunk driver who killed your little patient all those years ago?" My knees went weak. I burst into tears. I had been an ER nurse for 35 years, and I had seen terrible things. But that one night, when a drunk man took the life of a sweet, innocent child I was trying to save, I vowed I would never forgive him. I thought my anger was righteous. I thought it was justice. But standing there in the presence of Jesus, I realized that my hatred wasn't hurting the driver. It was eating my own soul like battery acid. It was a poison I drank every day, hoping the other person would die. I fell to his feet. I screamed it out. "I forgive him. Lord, I release him. Please, take this heavy stone out of my chest." And the moment I truly let it go, a miracle happened. A brilliant, blinding light exploded from my heart. It was brighter than 1,000 candles. It pushed back the darkness on every side. I finally understood the secret. The safest shelter in the world is not a house with thick walls. It is a heart that is clean and free. Jesus placed his hand on my shoulder, and a peace I cannot describe washed over me. It felt like coming home after a long, hard journey. He looked deep into my eyes and said, "Sarah, now you have all 7 items. You must go back. Tell the mothers of your land not to just busy themselves with cleaning their houses. Tell them to clean their hearts first. Time is running short." I wanted to beg him to let me stay. I wanted to stay in that warmth forever. But before I could speak, I felt a powerful pull, like a vacuum sucking me backward. I was ripped away from his embrace. The beautiful light faded into gray, then black. The wind screamed in my ears like a hurricane, and I felt myself falling back into the cold and the pain. A massive jolt of electricity tore through my chest. It felt like a lightning bolt. My eyes flew open. The first thing I saw was the blinding white lights of the hospital ceiling. The sharp smell of antiseptic stung my nose. My chest felt like it had been smashed by a sledgehammer. Every breath was a struggle, but the physical pain was nothing compared to the agony in my soul. I started crying uncontrollably, sobbing like a toddler who lost her mother in a crowd. The doctors and nurses tried to comfort me. They thought I was crying because of the broken ribs or the shock. They didn't know the truth. I was crying because I missed him. I was crying because I had left the only piece that matters. I knew right then, lying on that stretcher, that the old Sarah died on her kitchen floor. The woman who woke up was someone else entirely. I was a woman with a mission. My dear sisters, please hear me. I am not a prophet. I am not a pastor. I am just an old nurse who has seen the medical chart of this world, and I am telling you the patient is in critical condition. You might be wondering when this 3 days of darkness will happen. Will it be next month? Next year? I do not know the date, but Jesus showed me a secret mechanism. He showed me that the event is being held back by one thing. It is the prayers of mothers. When you kneel by your bed at night, when you pray over your sleeping children, you are building a wall of fire around your home. Your quiet prayers are the only thing keeping the dam from breaking. We are the remnant. We are the ones standing in the gap. God is not delaying because He is slow. He is delaying because He is waiting for you to be ready. He is giving us a little more time to prepare our hearts and our homes. Do not waste this grace. So, let's look at the list one last time. Pure beeswax candles for true light, heavy curtains to shut out the fear, anointing oil to mark your territory, a paper Bible that cannot be hacked, silence to hear God's whisper, food to share with the hungry, and most importantly, total forgiveness to close the back door of your heart. Please, I beg you, do not wait until the power grid fails to look for a candle. Do not wait until the storm is shaking your windows to fix your curtains. Check your soul first aid kit today. If you are willing to check your heart and prepare your family, please type the words "I am ready" in the comments below. And please share this message with your daughters, your sisters, your friends. You never know. One click might just save a soul.